Hello my people, FinerBub here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're talking about ski gear, specifically all of the gear items that I plan to use for the 2021 ski season. Throughout the video I'll go over each and every gear item that I personally plan to use for this coming winter, and I'll compare them to some of the items that I've used in the past, and then I'll also compare them against some of the competition. And as always, all of the gear mentioned in this video will be linked in the video description down below. Alrighty then, without further ado, let us begin! First up, brand new item for the 2021 ski season is my new helmet, the Smith Quantum. Why did I get the Smith Quantum? Well, mainly because it has the most safety features out of any helmet that I know of. So generally when you're talking about helmets, there's two types of impact protection. There's direct, straight on impact, like a linear impact, like you would if you just fell straight down to the floor. And there's rotational impact, which is more common in ski accidents, motorcycle accidents, where you're moving forward and then you hit the ground while you're rotating, and then, yeah, shakes up your skull and your brain. So why do I bring this up? Well, because this helmet, the Smith Quantum, has three different types of safety features integrated into it. It has Smith's Koroyd AeroCore construction, which if you can see right inside these vents here, there's like this little honeycomb, and that basically exists all underneath all of this shell here. And what it is a substitute for the typical hard foam that you'd find in a helmet. It's much more breathable than regular foam. Obviously you can see it's got all these holes in it, but it also absorbs impact. It basically acts like a crumple zone in your car, and it absorbs linear impacts that prevent skull fractures. So skull fractures aren't quite as common as concussions when it comes to ski injuries. And you see this little yellow button right there. It's more of a sticker than a button, but it says MIPS. MIPS is a company that makes a concussion prevention technology. So this yellow liner in here is basically a plastic shell that lines the entire inside of the helmet when you experience a rotational impact and your head hits the ground. So the MIPS system allows your head to rotate inside of the helmet so that your brain doesn't absorb so much of that rotational force, because rotational force is what causes your brain to move inside your head and smack against the walls, and that's what causes concussions. So MIPS been around for a few years at least. More and more helmets are being integrated with the MIPS system, and I'd personally advise that anyone buying a new helmet buys one with MIPS. You know, I've had two brothers that have had major concussions. It's no joke. And not all helmets are created equal, so just know that. For those of you who are curious why I didn't get the Vantage, which is another Smith helmet that's very similar to this, is because the Quantum, this helmet, has this two-tone construction. They're basically two different layers of this outer shell. They call it zonal impact protection. So basically what that means is that you're more protected from the side by having this two-tone construction here. I mean, the colors don't matter, obviously, but yeah. So another benefit to this helmet is that it has these dual shutter vents right here. So you can get a little climate control going there. The glove's a little slippery, but yeah, there's two vents, one in the back and one in the front. I also like the way that this buckle works. It's magnetic, so this just slides in. You can easily do it with one hand, and you know, with thick gloves it's no problem. It has this BOA adjustable knob right here to tighten it. I usually leave it on the widest setting. I have a pretty big dome, so you know, just adjust it as you see fit. This is a removable goggle bungee right on the back here, so your goggle strap just fits right inside there. And you know, I like the little brim. It has a removable liner that you can wash. The goggle lock and the ear cups are removable. Has all the features. You know, some people might sort of complain about the price of these things, but when it comes to helmets, you know, safety is really the #1 concern, and so the more features that are packed into this that promote safe skiing, and the more features that are packed into this that promote comfortable skiing, such as the vents, the easy, you know, magnetic buckle, and just all of these simple features, I really prefer this bungee to any of those hard clips, because they sometimes snap off and they're harder to manage. But yeah, my new helmet, Smith Quantum. I'll loosen that BOA. So yeah, I mean, it's an expensive helmet, but in my mind, if you're gonna invest in anything, the difference in price for an expensive helmet versus a cheap helmet, in this case, actually equates to an increase in safety. So in my mind, it's a no-brainer. You know, I'm not wearing a seatbelt so that I don't get a ticket. I'm much more afraid of dying than I am of getting a ticket. So yeah, be smart, wear a helmet. All right, next up, goggles. So these are the Smith IOX. Well, this is a marker goggle box because my goggles didn't come with a nice goggle box, but these are the Smith IOX goggles. They are an OTG model, which means that they are compatible to go over your glasses. OTG stands for over the glasses or over the glass. The main reason I wanted the IOXs from Smith was because of the wide field of view. However, I probably could have gotten away with getting the IO7s or the regular IO models, and they wouldn't have been that much different. They might have been a little bit more comfortable on my face, but yeah, I like these goggles. I've had them for 2 or 3 seasons. They've been really great. They have the Smith ChromaPop lens sort of color contrast technology, so the optics are incredible. The only other goggles that I've used in the past that have comparable or better optics are the Oakley Prisms. However, they're much more expensive and they usually only come with one lens and they're much harder to change. The Smith IOXs, they have this awesome quick release system that's easy to swap in and out the lenses. This one came with one blue lens, which is for cloudy days, overcast days, and then it also came with this darker lens for sunny days. Comes with this nice goggle bag that has 2 pockets in it so that you can keep the lenses and the goggles in there together and they won't scratch up against each other. I just use the marker case because the Smiths didn't come with their own hard case, and you know, I had the marker case from an old pair of goggles, so yeah. One thing to keep in mind when you're looking at goggles and helmets is that, you know, they're actually compatible in terms of the curvature up here of the brim. You want to avoid what's known as the gaper gap or the goggle gape or the goggle gap. And that's basically when, you know, a big section of your forehead is showing up there, a telltale sign of the noob. Yes, I've been ridiculed many times for a goggle gap, but you know, I've learned my lesson over the years and now I make sure to cover my dainty little forehead. Anywho, in terms of goggles, I think the most important thing is optics, obviously. You want to be able to see the different contrasts in the snow. You want to be able to see when you have an icy patch versus a snowy patch. And sometimes that can be difficult, especially with like just regular polarized sunglasses. It's not quite as easy to tell the difference. So yeah, the Smith ChromaPop technology is just really great. You know, Oakley Prism is great too, but I find that with the Smiths you really just get more for your money since they generally come with 2 lenses and they're much easier to swap out. Here, I can show you real quick how these lenses pop in and out. Where the strap attaches here, you turn that down, then you turn the other one down, and then there's a little switch up top. Switch that up, and then you just pull them apart. Lens comes right out. The nose is really the hardest part, but yeah, it just has like all these notches on the edges there, and then you just fit the notches back into, always do the nose first because yeah, that's just how you do it. Do the nose first when you're going in, nose last when you're coming out. So this is the hardest part really, but yeah, you just sort of shove it right in there. Once you get that clipped in, you can easily bend it to get that notch in, and these top notches, and this last one on the side here. Overexposed here in the video, probably. It's annoying. It's getting sunny. One thing to note about ski goggles is that there's often a anti-fog coating on the inside of the lenses. So you should never ever touch the inside of the lens. You should never wipe it off. It's foggy. You just leave it be. The fog will clear eventually, but if you wipe it off, it's ruined. You basically might as well get a new pair of goggles because yeah, you're just ruining the coating there, and that is not something that you can easily fix. So yeah, don't touch the inside of your lenses. You know, if they get foggy, just wait, just be patient. patient. If you have a good pair of goggles that are vented nicely on the tops and on the bottoms, it will dissipate by itself. So yeah, there you have it. Helmet and goggles. Ooh, see, let me see. See, this is so much easier than those stupid clips. And this pops right up. There you go. Helmets and goggles. Cool. So speaking of goggles, a rep from this company, Horvath, actually reached out to me a few weeks ago, and they sent me a free pair of goggles. This came with 2 lenses and a hard case, and it came with 2 bags too, which is pretty sweet. And they have an Amazon store. They basically were just like, you know, like, we like your skiing videos and we'd love to send you a pair of goggles to test out. I've never used them before. Obviously, it's pretty early in the season. Happy winter solstice to all of you. I haven't been skiing this year yet. Just been stuck in the quarantine. But what's cool about these, like a few others from like Gordini and also Smith now is starting to integrate this type of a goggle swap technology, is that these lenses on this Horvath attach with magnets. They have a little bit of a lock right there that you flip up on both sides. This just attaches, if I can grab it with my slippery gloves. This just attaches magnetically, so you can leave the goggles on your face basically, and they just pop right back in, and you lock them up with these switches. You know, it's not the best quality construction I've ever seen, but if you're just looking to get your first piece of kit, you know, these are extremely affordable. And yeah, I'll link their Amazon store down below, but just know that I've never tested them and I've never heard of them before, but I appreciate the fact that they, you know, saw my videos and they liked them and they were willing to send me a free pair to test out. So I'll be testing these out this winter and I'll keep you posted on how they do. But yeah, I mean, these are only like 50 bucks, whereas these are like 200 or something. So big price difference. Horvath goggles, and you get a hard case. I mean, like, Smith, where's your hard case? Let's lower this exposure just a wee bit. Yeah. Okay, so next up we have my boots. These are Salomons. I don't actually know what these are called. I've had these since 2007. They're by far my oldest piece of ski gear kit. Those of you who have seen my hiking boots video about the A Solo Fugitive GTX hiking boots will know that I'm extremely picky about my footwear, and I have weirdly shaped wide feet. So, you know, once I found something that worked about 13 years ago, I kind of stuck with it. And, you know, they have a custom molded liner, so they fit my feet very well. And yeah, I mean, I've just been using these forever. I don't even know if they make this model anymore, but yeah, I mean, Salomon boots. These have held up great for almost 14 seasons. So yeah, I mean, they're definitely beat up, and you know, I'll probably end up getting some new ones eventually, but yeah, don't fix it if it ain't broke, you know what I mean? Salomon boots. After you get your goggle and your helmet, which are kind of more affordable items, the ski boots are really the best thing to invest in because they're the thing that are going to cause you the most discomfort if they're not fitted properly. So if you have boots that are fitted to your feet and then you go and you rent skis, you know, you're going to have a much better time than if you just get rental boots. And you can keep the boots year in and year out and then just like keep upgrading your skis, or eventually buy a pair of skis that fit with the boots. But you know, you'll be breaking in those boots that whole time and they'll continue to get more and more comfortable for you. And yeah, that's kind of why I don't want to get new ones, because I'm afraid of change. Anyway, Salomon boots. Okay, so next, oops, there goes the microphone. Next I want to talk about my bindings. These are the Pivot Looks, or the Look pivots. They have full metal construction, extremely durable. I've broken 2 pairs of bindings in less time than I've had these. These are by far the highest quality bindings I've ever used. And they have this pivot system here. It basically just doesn't eject quite as easily when you have harder landing. So yeah, I mean, they make different sizes depending on the skis that you have. So you just have to look up what skis you're getting. And oh, Pivot 12s, that's what they're called. It says it right there. Look, Pivot 12s. You got this whole ring here that just swings around. It'll spin all the way around, but you know, I have them locked up here. So these are great bindings, best bindings I've ever used. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really can say about that. Okay, so the pièce de résistance. Let's talk about skis. So these are the Line Sick Days. I believe they are 179 centimeters in length, 95 millimeter underfoot. They are the widest skis I've ever owned. I'm from the East Coast, so I've never really owned a pair of powder skis. You know, I've had the Vocal Walls, which are twin tip all mountain park ski. You know, they're all right, but I didn't really like the center mounting that I had on those. And before that, I had these head racing skis that, you know, were sort of heavier and thinner. But honestly, these are the best skis I've ever ridden. Full disclosure, I did get them for free from a rep that I knew a few years ago. So take whatever I'm saying here with a grain of salt. I did not pay my own money for these, but I promise that I wouldn't be using these skis if they weren't my favorites. You know, I still have those other two pairs, and, you know, I would use them if they could compare on any level. But these are fast, they are maneuverable, they're light, you know, they're like the perfect level of flex for me, at least, just like an all mountain ski. And yeah, I've really enjoyed using these, especially in combination with the pivot bindings. So yeah, these are the Line Sick Days, and you know, like, they're my favorite skis that I've ever used. They're the best skis that I've ever used. Keep in mind, I've only owned like 3 pairs of skis, and they've all been kind of like a different style of skis, so I'm not really sure if it's the shape and construction, the size. This is the widest ski I've ever used, so maybe it's wide skis that I really like. I don't know, but just from personal experience, I love these skis. They're great. I've been utterly satisfied, and yes. Okay, what's next? Next up, we have poles. So I want to share 2 types of poles with you, because I have one kind of pole that's really my favorite pole, and then this is kind of the pole that I've switched to just out of like convenience for filming videos, and I'll explain why. So first I want to talk about these. These are the K2 composite poles. Basically K2, I guess they bought like a fishing pole factory. K2 invested in like some sort of fishing pole company, and they started using that material to make these flexible, see, they bend. I'll show you some B-roll. I have gone through so many pairs of poles, and then as soon as I bought these, I've had these since I was in college. Like, I'm trying to think, when it was probably like 2010 I bought these, and yeah, they've held up amazingly ever since. They're super durable. They're basically like a marlin grade fishing rod. Yeah, these are incredible. I would definitely go for these if you just need a regular ski pole. K2 composite construction technology. I mean, the basket's a little broken, but whatever, you can replace those. And you know, the hands are very durable, grippy, hard rubber plastic, and then they've got solid straps up here. However, last season, if you saw my REI garage sale video, you'll know that I picked up a pair of these Black Diamond touring poles. And the main reason I got these was just because they are collapsible. It's just much easier for me to fit these in my backpack when I'm filming. So, you know, if I have to hold the GoPro with one hand or with 2 hands, I can just like easily stick these guys in my backpack, whereas the other ones, these K2s, they don't collapse, so they kind of protrude up above my head when they're in my pack, and you know, they get caught on branches or whatever. So I mean, these are good for touring, they're good for snowshoeing, and you know, they're good for downhill skiing. I mean, I bought them used. I figured I'd break them pretty easily, but last season got cut a little bit short. Yeah, I was working on a Sugar Bush video last season, and I was up there March 15th, and we were supposed to ski for 2 days, and then, yeah, they closed the resorts all on the 15th, and so we had to leave in the middle of the weekend and go home for the quarantine, and yeah, the season ended and it was horrible. But yeah, hopefully this season will be a little bit better. I've already bought some passes, so yeah, hopefully I'll get up to Vermont and get in some good powder days. Anyway, these are the Black Diamond poles. So I was going to include clothing in this video, but it's already running a little bit long, so I'm going to make a second video just about the clothing that I use for skiing. That'll probably come out next week. After that, I'm going to be going up north, trying to get some more footage, so bear with me. The videos aren't coming out as consistently for a few weeks while I'm up there skiing and filming a lot. You know, I only have desktop computer, so it's hard for me to edit while I'm like on the road. Yeah, my laptop is just way too old and can't really handle 4K footage. So yeah, from that stuff, I have a few hiking videos in the works, so you know, drop me a line in the comments, hit me up on Instagram, let me know what you guys would prefer to see. Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff coming. I've got some really exciting news to share with you guys that, you know, We'll see when it's time to reveal it, but yeah. Big news, big changes, exciting things coming to the FinerBub channel. Anyway, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for that. If you found any value in this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you are thinking about picking up one of these items for yourself, I will be leaving affiliate links in the video description below. So if you feel that I've given you enough information to make an informed purchasing decision, I would appreciate you supporting the channel by shopping through those links. It gives me a small commission at no extra cost to you and helps me make more videos like this. So appreciate that. Thank you very much. Alrighty, my people, that concludes today's episode of the FinerBub Show. If you've already checked out any of these gear items or you have any suggestions for things I should try out, I'd love to have you comment below. Oh, and by the way, on the channel page, I've left a P.O. box address. Pretty cool to know that this Horvath company just saw my videos and they reached out and they sent me some stuff. So yeah, if you work for another company and you want me to test your stuff and you think it's better than Horvath, send it over and we'll see about that. Anyway, so if you're thinking about checking out any of this gear, or if you have any suggestions for anything else I should try out, I'd love to have you comment below, especially if you think your insight can help me disprove something that I think I already know. But before you do, I just want to thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're looking for new gear or planning your next trip, don't let the small details stress you out. Remember, life's an adventure, so relax, breathe in the outdoors, and don't forget to appreciate the finer things in life. See you out there, people. Peace.